The movie begins with a woman named Ruth, who is being released from prison after 20 years in a murder case. Inside the prison, we see Ruth writing letters to her younger sister, Katherine. She collects her belongings and then steps out into the outside world after 20 years. It is clear from her face that she is completely broken from the inside and deeply depressed. At that point, an officer named Vince Cross starts explaining some important rules to Ruth. He tells her that after being released from prison, she must stay away from certain things, such as drugs and alcohol, bars and nightclubs, and all kinds of criminals. After that, Vince orders the gate to be opened. Then he asks Ruth, "Any questions?" Ruth, in a very sad tone, simply replies. The scene then shifts, and we see Katherine sitting in a yellow car, looking strange and uneasy. She receives a voice message on her phone from her stepsister, who says, "Mom is very angry. You're not answering her calls. Call her back." Katherine quickly turns off her phone without replying. Then we return to Officer Vince, who is asking Ruth a few more formal questions. Ruth keeps answering only with yes and no. Finally, Vince says to Ruth, "After getting out of prison, people try to make their lives better." Ruth replies sadly, "I'll try." After this, we see Katherine starting to remember fragments of her lost memories. She only recalls a few moments from her childhood, but she doesn't remember much about her past. While lost in these thoughts, her car suddenly crashes into another car. After the crash, we see another scene where a man sitting in the other car is staring closely at Ruth, and on his mobile phone, there is a photo of Ruth. Then Officer Vince once again says to Ruth, "To live a good life, a job is very important." Ruth replies, "I have a job. I'm a carpenter." At this, Vince gives Ruth a card and says, "A friend of mine works in seafood packing. If you ever need it, contact this number." The scene changes, and we see Katherine in the hospital, lying on a bed. Her stepfather and stepsister are sitting beside her. Katherine reassures them and says, "I'm fine. Don't worry. It was just an accident." Her dad asks, "Were you taking your medicine on time?" Katherine, slightly irritated, says, "Enough, Dad." Just then, her mom enters the room. Seeing her, Katherine says, "I'm sorry, Mom." Her mom replies lovingly, "It's okay." Then her dad says, "After the hospital, you'll stay with us for a few days." Katherine refuses and says, "No, I have a recital in a few days." Her mom responds, "You can practice at home." Now the scene changes again. We see Officer Vince saying to Ruth, "Welcome to your new home." Then he adds, "We'll meet here every Tuesday, exactly at 11 o'clock. After saying this, Vince leaves. After that, we see the same man following Ruth. When Ruth enters the house, she notices a completely different environment, where elderly women are living. There, an old woman says to Ruth, "Come with me." She shows Ruth a room and says, "From now on, you'll live here." Then the scene changes again. We see the same man who has been following Ruth. This man is actually the son of the police officer whose father Ruth had killed. In anger, he says to his brother, "That murderer is out now. We'll take revenge on her." His brother replies, "We can't do anything. Killing her won't solve all our problems." He responds angrily, "So you won't support me?" His brother tries to explain, "Don't think about her. Let her go now." Then we see Katherine and her sister sitting together in the hospital, watching something on a tablet and laughing. Meanwhile, her parents are talking to each other. The mom says, "Katherine's sister Ruth was released today. What if Katherine finds out about it?" The dad replies, "No, she doesn't remember anything like that." The mom says worriedly, "What if Ruth tries to find Katherine?" The dad responds, "No, she can't do that. And if she does, we'll go straight to the police."